So the defendant, Michelle Santos, hit your son over the head and killed him. Is that correct?
Danny and Michelle said it was self-defense.
Mrs. Santos, did the defendant tell you that she hit your son over the head with a rock and killed him?
Yes.
No further questions.
You may cross, Mr. Marler.
Your Honor, may we please have a short recess so I can speak with my client?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at this time we'll take a 15-minute recess.
Is there any truth to this at all?
Danny, I'm so sorry. She was badgering me up there. I had to answer those questions. Michelle, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know, Danny. I'm sorry.
Do you have any idea what you have done? Why didn't you tell me about this? I could have prepared for it.
I didn't know that it was going to come out. I didn't think it would. It was an accident. It was self-defense. He attacked me. I didn't even know. It was an accident, Ross. It was an accident.
Okay, all right. It was an accident. But if we don't convince this jury of that, we're that much closer to a conviction. Now, is there somebody, anybody, who knows what actually happened that night? Drew, you were there. You know what happened. You're going to have to say something.
What do you want me to say?
The truth, Drew. Look, you're going to have to. It could be the only way to save Michelle. And you are the only one that can do it. How the hell did the DA find out about Mick?
I don't know, Danny. I'm sorry. Michelle, I'm so sorry.
Do you have any idea what you've done? Why didn't you tell me about this so I could prepare?
Because I didn't think it was going to come out, Ross. It was an accident. He attacked me. I never meant for him to die.
Well, he did, and now I have a hell of a lot of work to do with the jury. Is there anybody who can back you up on this? Anybody who knows what actually happened that night?
Quite the puppeteer, aren't we? Caught your performance, Carmen. I loved it. I laughed, I cried. I think you've missed your true calling.
Not now, Edmund.
Don't look so humble, Carmen. There wasn't a dry eye in the house as you reluctantly gave up your dear daughter-in-law, or my favorite part, when you dramatically tortured, turned away, not able to meet her gaze, and had to admit that, yes, she had indeed killed your son.
Don't you ever trivialize what happened to my son. What was done to him was unforgivable.
Exactly. And what better way to have her pay for Mick's death than to make her hang for Ben's? It is a fearful symmetry, Carmen, don't you think? I just have one question. What are you going to do for an encore?
You were there, okay? You know what happened, okay? You're going to have to get up there and say something.
What? What do I say?
The truth, Drew. You have to. This could be the last chance to save Michelle.
I have to say,
yeah, you're the only one that
I
can
have to put my neck on the line and save your ex-girlfriend.
That's not what this
That's what this is about. Hell with me, right? To hell with me. That's what you're saying. That's what you're really saying.
Why do you keep looking at Drew? What's going on?
Nothing.
You afraid she doesn't believe you anymore?
Yeah. Look, I just, Ross's questions and I have to answer.
Listen to me for a second. I don't want you to be worried about Drew or anyone else. I need you to concentrate on yourself. All right? Let her turn this around.
Look, how can you even say that, Drew? I would never want to put your life in danger.
Well, that's what you're asking me to do, right? And that's fine. That's not what kills me.
True.
What kills me is that you are always putting her first and me second, no matter what it is.
All right, now that is not true.
Isn't it? Did you even think for 1 second what would happen to me if I do this? Not for 1 second. What do you think Carmen's gonna do to me, huh? If I get up in open court and confess that I helped kill one of her sons, huh?
Look, there has to be a way that you can help Michelle, and you can get protected at the same time.
There isn't. And you are so focused on taking the heat off of her that you don't even care that it's being put on me.
Drew,
But
okay?
I have
the
to
police.
I have to do this right. I have to do this for her.
Look, this is about the jury thinking that Michelle is guilty. If they do, her life is over, Drew.
And no one is more important than Michelle.
This
How
is
could
not
I
about
forget?
me and Michelle, okay? This is about the truth. And you are the only one that can get up there and tell it. Now, you think you can live with yourself if you don't?
So a police report was filed?
Yes, and Frank kept it quiet because of the danger it's
The danger to you from the Santos family,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and the district attorney at the time, who happened to be Ben, probably felt he didn't have enough evidence to get a conviction. Damn it, Michelle. Isn't there anything that you can tell me about what happened that night?
I was alone when I hit Nick. I'm the only person who can tell that to the jury.
Well, that is certainly not going to happen, believe me.
All right, Cross, do you have any other ideas?
Just one.
What do you want me to say?
I just want you to say that you'll do the right thing, okay?
Please be seated. Are you ready to continue, Mr. Marler?
I am. Your Honor, I would like to request in the strongest possible terms that this be declared a mistrial.
Objection, Your
The
Honor.
district attorney has brought in testimony that is not based in fact and is not relevant to this particular case.
Sidebar, counselors.
Your Honor, one of the main issues in this case is whether or not Michelle Santos is capable of violence. I believe this testimony speaks directly to that.
Your Honor, my client is on trial for the murder of Ben Warren, not Mick Santos. She cannot be allowed to introduce this as evidence.
Mrs. Santos opened up this line of questioning when she claimed that Michelle could harm no one, when she had prior knowledge that she could and did.
Counsel is drawing conclusions from the independent testimony of one
I
witness.
could have the police file here in 20 minutes, Your Honor.
And what you will find is that the former district attorney did not pursue the case.
That doesn't prove it wasn't a murder.
That is not the point. For my client to be tried for that in this courtroom, to my mind, that's a travesty of justice, Your Honor.
You did have an opportunity to bring this up, counselor, and you did not avail yourself of it. This is unsubstantiated, and therefore it is irrelevant. I shall instruct the jury to ignore Mrs. Santos's testimony.
But, Your Honor, they can't possibly do that. There was just simply too much material. With all due respect, this should be a mistrial.
That's not going to happen. Have a little more faith in our jury system, counselor.
All of it was exceedingly prejudicial against my client.
And the jury will be told that it is inadmissible. That's my ruling.
The jury is to be instructed to ignore the testimony.
Ignore it like they never even heard it in the first place?
I know that. That's not good enough. They could go into deliberations thinking that you are capable of murder.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the testimony you have heard from Mrs. Carmen Santos is to be disregarded by you. It will be stricken from the record, and you must not allow it to have any bearing on this case. The jury is further instructed that there is no corroborating proof of what Mrs. Santos alleged regarding the defendant, and you must therefore ignore it completely.
There is proof. I have something I'd like to add to the record about this. I was there.